Let's talk about those Twins, shall we? Back-to-back heartbreakers. If I was writing a movie, I could not come up with a better horror story for this Twins fans to watch. You head into the series, the lead shrunk down to 1, 8 of your next 11 with Cleveland, want to come out, make a good impression. Got your studs on the mound, Joe Ryan, Sonny Gray, and not once, but twice, the Twins hold a huge late lead. Emilio Pagan serves up a 2-run homer Tuesday. He's the one who gets the Twins into trouble again late last night with a 3-run lead. Griffin Jack tries to come in and clean up the mess, but the Guardians, for the second night in a row, rally back from 3 runs down, beat the Twins at home. Twins now trail Cleveland in the division for the first time all season. Sam, I said to Reggie on yesterday's show, maybe Tuesday's loss was the best thing that could have happened to the Twins because now it's crystal clear Twins have to go get pitching help before the deadline. And then it happens again. Blown late lead, copy paste. You can't make this up. Here's a tweet from Aaron Gleeman last night. The Twins had a 97.9 win probability last night, a 91% chance of winning Tuesday late in the game. One game, sure, chalk it up to luck or something goofy happening, but 2 nights in a row, the writing's on the wall, man. It's in 4K, high resolution. Twins need relievers in the worst way.
Yeah, and last night, it's Pagan who is initially kind of heroic. He comes into the 8th inning and strikes out the side, and then Rocco has a decision to make. And Rocco's under a lot of heat right now because he pulls a lot of the wrong strings on this team, and I think we've discussed that, and people get very frustrated with the way that he manages these games. And the bullpen's depleted. And Rocco has, does he go to Duffy, who's struggled? Does he go to Jax, who was used the day before? Does he stick with Pagan, who just struck out the side? And I think a lot of times you might say, well, we'll stick with the hot hand, I guess. Well, Pagan's 1 inning turns into 2, and the second inning goes terribly. And Pagan is the scapegoat. But just the bullpen in general was so depleted, and there's so few trustworthy arms in that group that it's really pick your poison, except for Jahan Duran, who is the kind of the one stopper that you have. And even he hasn't been perfect. There is no one there that you're going to trust. I mean, Cotton had been pretty good, but he comes in last night and he really kind of started the carnage. I mean, the Guardians started coming back on the front end of that bullpen, and they just kept hitting and coming at him. And the Twins had done everything right in the start of that game. Sonny Gray gave him a strong start. The offense jumped out early. Your leader, Carlos Correa, hits 2 home runs, 5-1 lead. You've got the starters you want. You mentioned that. You set this rotation up so you've got Ryan and Gray. The offense is hitting. They're hitting early in games. They're getting timely hits late in games. What more can you ask? Except for your bullpen to just close the game. And I was a little bit perturbed that if Griffin Jax was able to pitch, like if he was available, because he did come on, he finished the 9th inning. If he was available, why didn't he start the inning? That's my second guess, because you probably should have gone with him to begin with instead of, testing Pagan, who had no rest after Tuesday's game. So it's just, and Rocco can't win in this situation because he has no arms in that bullpen. And it seems like they're going to have this issue now until the deadline when hopefully they can add some help. But it's got to happen soon, Luke. You're absolutely right.
Twins are doing all the right things except one. 15 runs the past 2 games, wasting a couple really good starts by pitchers. Hopefully not a matter of if, but when. If this is a season that you went into going to get Carlos Correa and said, hey, I think we're going to push some chips all in here, they have to go get some more help. That one hurt, man. It stings. And the only thing that could cheer me up, Sam, NBA Jam. NBA Jam is back thanks to Arcade 1-Up, the leader in home retro arcade games. NBA Jam, Golden Tee, Mortal Kombat, and more. Pre-order now from arcade1up.com. That's arcade, the number 1, up.com. Enter for a chance to win a game console for your man cave at arcade1up.com/locked-on. That's arcade, the number 1, up.com/locked-on. So, Sam, Terry Francona, manager of the Guardians, said last night that had Byron Buxton played in last night's game, Josh Taylor's double in the 8th probably doesn't happen as Buxton tracks that sucker down. Rest is history. The pitching takes all the heat, obviously. How much of Buxton missing some of these critical games and not being on the field during crucial moments starts to add up after a brutal loss like last night? Because Twins fans want to point the finger anywhere they can right now. They're frustrated that they've lost the last 4 of 5. And when you're paying a guy $15 million and he's supposed to be the face of your franchise, he's going to take some heat when he only suits up as much as he has, and you see wins turn into losses like they did last night.
Yeah, I've never seen a guy that correlates as much to wins and losses as Byron Buxton in the sport of baseball. Like in the sport of football, if quarterback's out, that's going to have a big impact. Basketball, there's only 5 guys on the floor. 1 guy means a lot. But in baseball, I've never seen a guy that can swing an outcome like Byron Buxton can. It's uncanny. And at this point, there's a pretty large sample size. When he's on the field, the Twins win. When he's not, they lose. And it is plays like that in a close game where you save either an out or even an extra base that can swing the outcome. Obviously, 90 feet of real estate means a lot late in the game when we're keeping runners at first, or getting an extra out on the board. That's enormous. I think it's not a guarantee to say the Buxton catches that ball. I mean, after all, he is kind of dealing with a bad knee. Maybe he's not quite at 100% and getting to those balls in the gap. But you certainly missed him. And now the rumors are that he had the knee drained, which means that there's something more going on than just a little ache. And now I'm thinking injured list stint, 10 games out. You've got the Guardians for 5 more coming up next week. How's that going to go? I mean, if the Twins aren't careful here, Luke, they've got 6 more against the Guardians. If they lose 4 or 5 of those, we're talking a 3 to 5 game deficit when they just had a 5-game lead like a month ago. So this is going pear-shaped really quickly. And I remember being on this show a month or 2 ago, Luke. We talked about kind of the Twins coming back to the pack, the pitching evening out and regressing back to the mean. And that's happening. We knew that would happen. They weren't going to win every 1-run game for the whole year. That's happening. They're losing the 1-run games now. So now the Twins are facing real adversity. They're having to face their problems head on. What are they going to do? How are they going to handle it? This is a huge moment for this Twins front office that I think people are a little disenchanted with. I mean, they went and they got Correa, but what have they done about the pitching? That's always been the big question. And now they're kind of having to face the music in that regard.
Yeah, seems like forever ago, Twins were winning 11 of 12, on fire, 7-8 game lead in the Central. Twins still have plenty of time, though, to rebound 6 of the next 9 against Cleveland on deck. Game 3 tonight in the backyard Target Field. Devin Smeltzer on the mound this afternoon. Twins gasping for air at this point, watching their division lead just drown away. First pitch, 12:10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Rest assured we'll be back here tomorrow to break it all down.